Okay, welcome to another Opium Potter's cheap tech video, and what I have for you today is something that I bought for just under £3. And what it is, as you might be able to tell from this awesome little picture just down here that I've drawn on the board, it is a micro SD card. Now, this micro SD card on the eBay listing said that it was going to be 64 gigabytes. And as you can probably imagine, for £3, that seems like quite a bargain. So, apparently you can just open it up like this. So there's that bit which comes with most SD cards. And the SD card doesn't want to... There it is. So let me just get this and show you. So there it is. It does say 64 gigabytes. Micro SD. There's the back. And now what I'm going to do for you is we're going to test this bad boy, because I do not believe that this micro SD card is 64 gigabytes as it is explaining. I reckon we're looking at about 2 or 4 gigabytes, but we're going to test that on a program that I'm going to use on a computer. So let's move over to my computer. As you can see, it says the high performance choice for digital image capture and storage, and it's got lots of lovely images down here of computers and cameras and headphones and phones and other things. On the back, plug and play, supports Windows/Mac OS for digital cameras, cellular phones, GPS, MP3 players, and pads. So as you can see, we have our micro SD plugged in here, and here it is saying 62.4 gigabytes. Which is what you'd expect from a 64 gigabyte micro SD, I suppose. And if we go into the properties, we can find here 62.4 gigabytes. Again, what you would expect, plenty of free space, a little bit of used space. And then you can also go to format, so we're going to try and give this a format. Let's start it, see if anything helps. And after that, let's have a look. 62.4 gigabytes, so it's still saying that. Now, what we have here is probably something that's a smaller amount, so I'm going to test the micro SD with this program here called a H2 test W. And what this basically does is adds large files onto the memory device that you have bought right up to its capacity. So for this case it will be 62.4 gigabytes. And then it will reread all of them files that it's put on there to see if they are corrupt and still as they were when they were put on. The way that these devices work is that they will change the device to make it think that it has 62.4 gigabytes and fool your PC into thinking that it also has a certain capacity. But for example, if this one says it has 64 gigabytes, but it actually in fact only has 8, what will happen is when you start uploading files up to its capacity, which in your mind is 64 gigabytes, once you go over 8 gigabytes, it will start rewriting the first files that you've put on there, therefore corrupting them. And therefore, by the time you've actually come to the capacity of 64 gigabytes, only your last 8 gigabytes of data that you put up there will be working. And anything that you put on before that, which will be the remaining 56 gigabytes, will be corrupt and unusable because it's been rewritten over from the newest files. And therefore a lot of people end up losing a lot of data that they've put onto these devices because they're assuming that it's safe on these memory devices. So this program here will allow us to test that and find out not only the actual capacity of this micro SD, but also the speed of the micro SD, because I imagine it's probably quite a low quality micro SD as well, and probably has quite a low speed. So what you do here is you just press the select target, then you just go to find where your micro SD is or your USB drive, and as you can see, I've just gone onto this PC here, and on my it says USB drive, which is interesting. It's actually F, so I just click on that and press OK. And then all you need to do is press write and verify, and then it will give you this warning, which is fine. And then now it will start uploading all the files, which will take probably quite a long time, as I said before, because of the probability of a low quality micro SD here. So it will start uploading these files earlier today I tried to do one and it said it was going to take 12 hours. Don't worry about that. As you can see, this one's gone right down to 2 hours and 55 minutes, and that will keep going down a little bit as well. It just highly estimates at the start. So what I'll either do is cut here or fast forward, depending on how long it takes and how big this file becomes. So if you just be patient, and you'll see the end result for the actual capacity of this micro SD. Okay, so here is the results of the test. So it took 2 hours to write everything onto the micro SD, and it took 1 hour to read everything and verify. So as you can see here, the media is likely to be defective, and then it says 7.7 gigabyte OK and 54 gigabyte data loss, which means that this is a 8 gigabyte 8 gigabyte micro SD and not a 64 gigabyte like it said before. I was surprised actually by the writing speed, which was 8 megabytes per second, which is not too bad. It's all right. But yeah, just as I suspected, not a 64 gigabyte. So if you'd put all your data on there, you would have lost most of it, and you'd be stuck with a 8 gigabyte micro SD that thinks it's a 64 gigabyte micro SD. So I'll be getting my money back, I'm sure.